your certificate of election. And as if you don't have enough to hold, we also have something from the district, our announcement of the results of the elections.
I'd like to recognize one other dignitary from the City of Hackensack Sheriff's Department, Mr. Jesus Galvez.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. This is the annual reorganization meeting of the Board of Education. Pursuant to the New Jersey statutes and the rules adopted by the Board of Education, notice of this meeting was sent to rural community newspapers, the Star Ledger and Cablevision of Elizabeth on December 21st, 2012. In addition, this notice is posted on the bulletin board in the lobby of the Mitchell Building, 500 North Broad Street, and pursuant to this act, a copy has been filed with the City Clerk of Elizabeth. There will be a public portion for citizens to address the board. Participants for the public portion must sign in 1 hour prior to the advertised start of the meeting so that they may have the opportunity to speak. The sign-in sheet states the name, address, telephone number, and the reason that the person wants to comment, whether it is an agenda item or a general education comment. I'll call the roll. Bathless. Castillo.
Here.
Donoso.
Here.
Gonzalez.
Here.
Montero.
Here.
Munn.
Here.
Nazca.
Here.
Pereira.
Here.
Trujillo.
Here.
At this time, I'll ask our board attorney, Mr. Kirk Nelson, to explain the rules of the election of board officers.
Thank you, Mr. Kennedy. The laws of the state of New Jersey, specifically Title 18, which governs boards of education, requires school districts with November elections reorganize in the first week of January and elect new officers. This is the reorganization meeting, and it is also a regular Board of Education meeting, so the board will conduct regular business after the election of its officers. Now, the method by which the board elects its officers is as follows. The board secretary will conduct an election for the president pro tem. The president pro tem is solely to assist in the election of the board president. After the election of president pro tem, there will be an election for the board president, and following the board president election, there will be an election for the board vice president. And both the president and the vice president will serve the board for the next year. Now, the elections to which I just referred will be carried by a majority vote. Each board member present is eligible to be nominated for either the office of president or the office of vice president, and a majority vote will suffice to elect them to that office. In the event more than one board member is nominated to run, then the rules of this board requires that a majority vote prevail for the winning candidate, which is a majority of the quorum. With that, I'll turn the meeting back over to Mr. Kennedy, who can conduct the first order of business, which is the election of President Pro Tem.
At this time, I'll take a nomination for President Pro Tem, and there's no need to second the nomination, just the name that's being nominated.
Mr. Kennedy, I would like to nominate Paul Pereira as President Pro Tem.
I move to close the nomination. Second.
Motion made by Mr. Gonzalez, second by Mr. Trujillo. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, roll call, Ms. Kennedy.
Bathos.
Yes.
Castillo.
Yes.
Reynoso.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Montero.
Yes.
Juan.
Yes.
Nasca.
Yes.
Pereira.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Mr. Pereira is the President Pro Tem.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to now open the nomination for Board President.
Mr. President Pro Tem, I would like to nominate Tony Montero for Board President.
Mr. Tony Montero. Okay, hearing no more nominations, I need a motion to close the nominations.
Motion to close the nomination.
Second.
Okay, roll call, Ms. Kennedy.
Bathos.
Yes.
Castillo.
Yes.
Reynoso.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Montero.
Yes.
Juan.
Yes.
Nasca.
Yes.
Pereira.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Vote for President. Bathos.
Okay. Yes.
Castillo.
Yes.
Reynoso.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Montero.
Yes.
Juan.
Yes.
Nasca.
Yes.
Pereira.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Mr. Montero wins the vote for President of the Board.
Thank you, Mr. Pereira, and I want to thank my colleagues on the board for this honor and for this opportunity. I know it's not an easy job, and I want to thank the predecessor, Mr. Fernando Nasco, for his service to the board. And I know these are some very difficult and tough shoes to fill, following Fernando for his outstanding leadership here on this board. You know, I know what my mom always used to say, that you don't need a title or a position to be a leader. You need passion to make a difference in the world. And I hope that that's what I bring to this board, some passion along with some experience in public service. And it's just a great honor to serve with hardworking men and women on this team here. And I look forward to continuing this progress and all the achievements that we have yet to accomplish here in the Elizabeth School District. So once again, to my colleagues, to Superintendent Munoz, thank you for this great opportunity. Thank you all. Okay, the third order of business will be now the election of the board vice president. I'm going to open up the floor for nominations.
I'd like to, Mr. President, I would like to nominate Ms. Elsie Castillo.
Nomination for Ms. Elsie Castillo Espina.
I move to close the nomination.
Motion to close by Mr. Trujillo. Second by
Second the
Mrs.
motion.
Gonzalez. Roll call to close the nominations.
Bathos,
Yes.
Castillo,
Yes.
Denosa,
Yes.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Montero,
Yes.
Munn,
Yes.
Nazca,
Yes.
Pereira,
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Vote for vice president.
It's a roll call for the vote for the board vice president.
Bathos,
Yes.
Castillo,
Yes.
Denosa,
Yes.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Montero,
Yes.
Munn,
Yes.
Nazca,
Yes.
Pereira, Trujillo.
Yes.
Castillo
Congratulations.
Espina is the vice president.
What an honor. 3 years ago when I came with a different vision to promote education in this city, to work with the parents, the administration, and today I'm quite honored to serve on this board. I'm honored to become the first Colombian vice president sitting on this board as I did it. I did it 3 years ago, becoming the first Colombian to sit on this board. It's quite an honor. As an educator, it's a big advancement for me. It has given me the opportunity to work in a different phase in my job. Usually I take orders, I have to follow the rules. Now I have the opportunity to provide for the children, provide the rules, work on policy and governance, and make sure that everything is carried on. Work with the Teachers Union, which is one of my associations. Also, I'm a school social worker, so I belong to the School Social Workers Association. And sitting on this board gave me the opportunity in 2009 of becoming the first Colombian to become the state of New Jersey social worker. I was recognized back then because I sat on this board. So I will continue to work and promote education as I've been doing it for more than 20 years. And this is a different phase in my life. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Mr. Donoso, thank you for your fine job. Thank you.
Thank you, Elsie. I guess, Mr. Kennedy, would you like to take us through the rest of the agenda?
Thank you. The next order of business is the adoption of the existing rules of governance. Need a motion to adopt.
Motion to accept the rules of governance.
Motion by Francisco Gonzalez. Second by Paul Pereira. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Bathos,
Yes.
Castillo,
Yes.
Nosa,
Yes.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Montero,
Yes.
Munn,
Yes. Yes.
Nazca,
Yes.
Pereira,
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
The next order of business is the election of the representative to Union County Educational Services Commission. We need a board member name representative.
I would like to nominate Elsie Castillo-Espina to continue serving on the Union County Ed Services Commission because I know her passion for special ed, and I think she's bringing a lot of good stuff to our district by serving there. Second.
We have a motion by Francisco Gonzalez for Elsie Castillo-Espina and seconded by Mr. Fernando Nasco. Any, seeing no comments? Any other comments? Roll call.
Bathurst.
Yes.
Castillo.
Yes.
Denoso.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Munn.
Yes.
Nazca.
Yes.
Pereira.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Montero.
Yes.
The sixth and seventh order of business are,
We will move it to a later time.
those are appointments by the president of the board. We have a resolution adopting the official results of the school board election held on November 6, 2012.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Moved by Paul Pereira, seconded by Francisco Gonzalez. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Bathurst.
Yes.
Castillo.
Yes.
Denoso.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Munn.
Yes.
Nazca.
Yes.
Pereira.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Montero.
Yes.
I have a resolution for the designation of official media services.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Moved by Francisco Gonzalez, seconded by Elsie Espina. Any questions or comments? It's the, which one?
Number 2.
The designation of media services. Seeing none, roll call.
Bathurst.
Yes.
Castillo.
Yes.
Denoso.
Abstain.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Munn.
Yes.
Nazca.
Yes.
Pereira.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Montero.
Yes.
Resolution for designation of depositories for school funds.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Move the resolution by Francisco Gonzalez, seconded by Elsie Espina. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Bathurst.
Abstain.
Castillo.
Yes.
Denoso.
Abstain.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Munn.
Abstain.
Nazca.
Yes.
Pereira.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Montero.
Yes.
A resolution for appointment of special counsels.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Moved by Francisco Gonzalez, seconded by Elsie Espina. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Bathurst.
Abstain.
Castillo.
Yes.
Denoso.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Munn.
Abstain.
Nazca.
Yes.
Pereira.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Montero.
Yes.
Resolution for appointment of insurance consultant.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Moved by Francisco Gonzalez, seconded by Paul Pereira. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Bathurst.
Abstain.
Castillo.
Yes.
Denoso.
Abstain.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Munn. Abstain.
Nazca.
Yes.
Pereira.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Montero.
Yes.
Resolution for appointment of auditor.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Moved by Francisco Gonzalez, seconded by Paul Pereira. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Bathurst.
Abstain.
Castillo.
Yes.
Denoso.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Munn,
Yes.
Nazca,
Yes.
Pereira,
Yes.
Trujillo,
Yes.
Montero.
Yes.
Resolution for appointment of Chief Medical Inspector.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Moved by Francisco Gonzalez, seconded by Paul Pereira. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Bathelus,
Abstain.
Castillo,
Yes.
Denoso,
Yes.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Munn,
Yes.
Nazca,
Yes.
Pereira,
Yes.
Trujillo,
No.
Montero.
Yes.
Resolution appointment of medical inspectors.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Moved by Francisco Gonzalez, seconded by Paul Pereira. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Bathelus,
Yes.
Castillo,
Yes.
Denoso,
Yes.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Munn,
Yes.
Nazca,
Yes.
Pereira,
Yes.
Trujillo.
Mr. Kennedy, yes on all three, no on Guillermo Munoz Dio.
Thank you. Montero.
Yes.
Resolution for appointment of treasurer of school monies.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Moved by Francisco Gonzalez, seconded by Elsie Espina. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Bathelus,
Abstain.
Castillo,
Yes.
Denoso,
Yes.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Munn,
Abstain.
Nazca,
Yes.
Pereira,
Yes.
Trujillo,
Yes.
Montero.
Yes.
Resolution for schedule of board meetings.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Moved by Francisco Gonzalez, seconded by Paul Pereira. Any questions or comments?
I do have a question, Mr. President. June 6th, June 27th, 2 meetings, 13 total. What's the purpose of the June 6th?
The June 6th is the regular meeting, and then the second meeting in June is to close out our fiscal year.
Good, gotcha, thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Bathelus,
Yes.
Castillo,
Yes.
Denoso,
Yes.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Munn,
Yes.
Nazca,
Yes.
Pereira,
Yes.
Trujillo,
Yes.
Montero.
Yes.
That concludes the agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Kennedy. Okay, this is the citizens portion of the meeting where citizens may address the board. At this time, the microphones are open for the public comment to those who have signed in prior to the session. I shall call individuals to the microphone based on the order of the sign-in. Each statement made by a participant shall be limited to 3 minutes in duration. The total time of public comment shall be limited to 60 minutes. No individual is able to yield their time to another individual. All statements shall be directed to the presiding officer. No participant may address or question board members individually. The following rules for public participation shall apply. Time limits will be strictly enforced. No personal attacks on individuals. No vulgar or indecent language. A person may address the board no more than once during a single meeting. Speakers should refrain from naming individuals, and comments or questions posed during public participation will not be debated. As a reminder, this is a meeting of the board in public, not a meeting of the public. The first speaker on the list is Jose Rodriguez, 618 Jackson Avenue.
Good evening. Happy New Year.
Good evening.
Congratulations to the 3 newly elected board members. Tonight I want to speak about the board special education and how we are the 4th largest district in New Jersey, yet we don't have a school that's dedicated to our special education students, who are our most vulnerable students in the city. We have almost 2,200 children that are in special education. That's almost 1 out of every 10 students here in our public schools. Excuse me. We also have 300 students that are sent out of district at an average cost of about $50,000 a year for that out of district placement. That's almost $13.5 million that is exported out to either other districts or other schools. If we had a school here in Elizabeth, obviously that money would stay within our school district. We could keep our staff members here that do a great job and therefore keep our children in district. We also could earn extra revenue by having children from other districts who cannot afford a good education within their district come into our district. So I was hoping that maybe in this new year, the Board of Education could form a committee and study some of the benefits and some of the issues about creating a new school for special education. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. Our next speaker is Maria Medeiros, 161 Livingston. Good evening, Ms. Medeiros.
Good evening. I'd like to foremost, congratulate Charlene. She deserves to be up there. She worked extra hard. She paved the pavement. She came out to meet the community. I am so happy for you. I know you're going to be a terrific board member. You're going to do your utmost to work with the community. And I'm not saying that everybody on the board isn't looking for that, but I know that she would run that extra mile to do that. I also would like to take this opportunity, Charlene, to asking you on the incident that happened 3 weeks ago in Newton, Connecticut about the children. I know that we're asking all the time, we've been going back and forth with the city and the school board, but I'm hoping with the energy that Trujillo brings into the council meetings and you, if you too could open up the doors to make our schools safe for our children. Because at the last council meeting, I heard Mr. Mazza say that we've never had that incident. And that's a bull-found lie, because we did have an incident a couple of years ago when we had a masked gunman walk into one of our schools in Jefferson and, harmed a child with a gun. And this is the part that I'm trying to prevent as a parent and as a taxpayer. So I would like to see you two go to the council and work with the city and try to make our schools much more safer. And this is the first project that you two could, as community, Carlos, I know you, you have a mouth on you, and I know that you're not gonna let nothing happen to our children. So I'm asking if you could work together on making an appointment with the city council people, on making our schools safe for our children. I would appreciate that. And Charlene, I know the children are your first, issues on your agenda. Make the schools safe. Right now, I was happy to see how we have to ring the bell before we could enter a school. If we could do that to all the schools in Elizabeth, I know our kids could be safe. And that incident that happened with the 20 children that are up in heaven right now, it doesn't happen to the city children of Elizabeth. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Medeiros. Our last speaker on the list is Luis Fernando Rincon, 164 Bellevue. Oh, I'm sorry. There's actually one more speaker I had skipped, but Mr. Rincon, you can proceed. Good evening.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, everybody. I want to congratulate the 3 members that were elected for our Board of Education, but I also wanted to take the opportunity to make 2 strong comments. First, I want to thank each and every member of the Board of Education, members of Elizabeth, because I'm a resident of Elizabeth for the past 15 years. And in the last 15 years, I have been able to witness the progress and the development of the education in Elizabeth. And I call it not an evolution, I call it a revolution of education, given by the Board of Education members, policies, procedures, and consistently working for our children of Elizabeth. My kids go to the Elizabeth public school system, and their development in education is outstanding. I'm very happy and proud to be also a father of 2 members that belongs to the community students population. And second, I was born and raised in Colombia. And as Colombian, I'm very happy and proud to know that we have a Colombian member of the Board of Education, who's today also member, named the Vice President of the Board of Education. And I'm very happy, I'm proud, emotionally very touched, because I know Elsie Ospina Castillo is a great role model, not only for the community of Elizabeth, for the Hispanic community in Elizabeth, but a great representative of our Colombian community. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Riccone. And the speaker that I had missed, and last speaker, is James Carey. Is Mr. Carey in the room? Good evening, Mr. Carey. How are you?
Good evening, Mr. Montero. I think you intentionally...
Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year. I think you intentionally skipped me. Good evening, distinguished members of the board. First of all, I want to convene by saying Happy New Year's. Congratulations, Ms. Ospina, Mr. Montero, and I say the best for last, my dear, precious little sister, Charlene Bathlis. No words can describe how I feel tonight seeing you up there. I hope the board can embrace her and work with her for the betterment of our school district. However, on another note, I would like to see the board, in the wake of that terrible incident that happened in Newton, Connecticut, you see all this legislators trying to, these politicians, elected officials, trying to pass legislature for something that happened hundreds of miles away. So I was hoping that this Elizabeth board tonight could adopt some type of resolution where the school board had opened up dialogue, like the community meetings you had previously, start opening up dialogues, because there's parents. There's an incident today that happened in Nantucket, Long Island, where a man walked to the school with a firearm. But he was licensed to carry a firearm, but it raised concern. And I know a lot of parents here in the city of Elizabeth have concerns in regards to what is the protocol or what is their recourse in the event that a situation like that has happened, occurs in the city of Elizabeth. In the past, I know when there has been possession of firearms, you guys had the school lockdown. However, that's good. However, I think the parents and the residents need to be educated more in regards to a situation if it ever occurs in the city of Elizabeth. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Carey. At this time, I close the public portion of this meeting. Also want to say, Mr. Carey, just on that note, that Commissioner Carlos Trujillo is one of our strongest advocates for security and safety in our schools. And in light of what took place up in Connecticut, we're all too well aware of what is going on now throughout the school systems in this country. And there is going to be a lot of dialogue going forward, not only with our district, but hopefully with many others. And one of my goals that I set out, beside continuing the progress that these great men and women have done here on this board, is certainly opening the dialogue and extending the olive branch to City Hall, and to opening the opportunity to work together, to unite this community, to make it just a better place for all of us to live. And instead of having to close doors and walls, it's better that we build bridges. And I'm hoping with Charlene and all the others that are out here tonight, we can do that in this coming year. Thank you. Any comments?
Mr. President, may I?
Yes, Commissioner Trujillo.
I'd like to address a few things that were said today. First and foremost, the special education comment. I don't think anyone here does not support special education, and our heart is with those parents who find that challenge. It's a calling to raise a child with special needs. It takes a lot of patience, and it's a test of love, and we support them wholeheartedly. Often I thank God every day that my children are healthy, and I couldn't imagine the circumstances when I hear the parents who come to see me and they want only the best for their children. And I can't say that we're not trying to provide that. Can we do better? We can always do better. There's always room for improvement. But to have when you say special education, it is such a wide range. It's such a big spectrum that I don't think just one school could do it. You know, I don't think one school can do it. But there definitely has to be dialogue, and we have to be cognizant of the needs of the community, and we have to listen to these parents and understand what they want for their children, and these things have to be treated case by case because everyone's situation is different. And you know, it's a very difficult decision. I don't think we would ever envision getting into the business of bringing in children. I think a district this size, if anything, we are already constrained by the amount of children we have. And that's one of the biggest impediments we have, that there are so many children in this city who need services that I couldn't even begin to imagine bringing in any more children simply to make money. I don't think that would benefit any of us, quite frankly. I think that would be a poor idea that I wouldn't support overall. In reference to the security in our schools, you know, I spoke to Mr. Nelson earlier, and as the children were performing, I just can't imagine. I said, you know, what happened in Connecticut, if I wanted to think of the worst thing that I could do, if I wanted to cause harm, that would be the furthest thing from my mind. I could never imagine what happened there. You know, it's surreal. I could still not believe that it happened. And security is so very important. Not only the fact that we spend so much money in security, I think it needs to be revisited. I think we've done a good job because considering the size of this district and all the things that are possible in such an urban school zone, you know, we're susceptible. You know, people have guns. We have guns running around the streets, and they're in the wrong hands. As Mr. Montero said, I'm a strong advocate of school security. I believe that not only for our children, but our staff needs to be safe. And in order to provide a good learning community, a good environment, learning environment, security plays a key role. The superintendent has done a good job with security, but the dialogue has to be created as well. And I intend to hope to call for public forums, as we have in the past, and continue that model. We've learned a lot from what the public wants by going out and listening to them in their neighborhoods. A lot of people can't come to these meetings, they can't make it, so we have to make ourselves accessible and go out to the community and listen in smaller groups with open discussion. And hopefully from there we can get the sentiments of the residents as a whole and formulate a plan how we can better secure our schools, so God forbid nothing like this ever happens here or anywhere else. Quite frankly, the best case scenario would be to study best practices throughout the country, and if we're going to be the best academically, athletically, and artistically, I think we want to be one of the safest schools, if not the safest school in the state of New Jersey, and be a model throughout the country. So going forward, I hope that we can work with our counterparts on the city level, and hopefully they will come to the table. I have no problem reaching out to them. I have in the past. I will continue to do so if it's in the benefit of our city and our children. And I welcome the public's input, and I'm sure my colleagues do as well. So any input you can give us would be greatly appreciated. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Trujillo.
I have a comment.
Excuse me, Ms. Castillo first.
Oh, sure.
I just want to point out that I'm a strong advocate for special education. That's what I do for a living. I've been doing it for more than 20 years. In response to the out-of-district students, when we decide, or the team, not me, but the team decides that a child should go out of district, it's based on the children's need. Not the parents, not the staff, not the budget. It's according to the child's needs. We always go first for the least restrictive environment, which includes whatever is available in district. Once everything is exhausted, and I mean you have to move the child several times before a child is going out of district, then we have to visit, or the case manager and the parent will have to visit the different schools. Letters have to be sent out, and those schools may or may not take the child. So that means that money is not an issue for all children. Can we provide some education here? Yes, we can. However, sometimes the children, we cannot meet their needs because they exceed their disability. And please understand, every child is worth in our district. And I'm a strong advocate, and that's why I always represent the Union County Service Commission, because that's a special ed board, and every town in every county is represented. If a parent wants to send a child out of district, it's not an option. It has to be accordingly worked out with the case manager, child study team recommendation. The parents cannot visit any school at their own free will or anything like that. We have to send, or the district, the child study team has to send a letter to the proposed institution, and a lot of times they have the choice of taking or not taking the child. So please do consider this. This is not that we send kids out of district because we just want to send them out. It's based on need only. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Espina. Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes, with regard to special education, LC, again, is an advocate. I'm an advocate, all of us are. One of the programs that we brought back to the district is the autism program, where we have, I believe, 3 or 4 schools that we have the autism program. So we're no longer sending those autistic children out of district, saving the district money and also keeping our kids, you know, within the town. So, and we continue, and I know the special educational department is always looking at ways of how can we keep, you know, can we do something where we can bring these kids back? But again, as Elsie stated, is whatever is best for the child that we'll do, whether it's to, you know, do one program or send them out and things like that. So, and again, with regards to security, back, you know, writing on what Mr. Trujillo said, the weekend of the incident, I know that several of us were in touch with the Assistant Superintendent, Hugo Meyer, with regards to our procedures. On Monday morning, Mr. Nasco and I met with the district crisis management team to basically make sure that everything, you know, that all the policies are reviewed, they're going to be auditing all the buildings to make sure that everything is in place, so we can, you know, with the help of God, prevent any type of, you know, incident in our district, you know, to happen. So again, we continue to be active on this to make sure that, again, everyone in our district, from our children to our staff to everyone, is safe and secure. So when you send your child, you know that he or she is being protected. So again, those are number one priority to all of us, the safety of our children. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other comments? Ms. Bounce? I'm sorry. Batheless. I will get that right.
Yeah, it's okay. To Ms. Maria, I definitely will take on the challenge to work with Mr. Trujillo and the other board members on the school safety so that we can ensure that what happened in Connecticut will not happen in the city of Elizabeth. And also, I know when I was running for the Board of Education, many residents had shared their many concerns that they had with, you know, stuff going on in the city. I'll make sure that I share those concerns with my fellow colleagues so that we can ensure that the schools move forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Batheless. Any other comments? Commissioner Pereira?
I just wanted to make a comment on the security efforts. I guess since I've been on this board, I mean, one of my main focus, and I think as part of the team collectively, it's always been security. And with that in mind, I know that for a fact in the beginning of this year, we made it a point to make sure that not only do we notify the community of the effort that the Board of Education is doing in regards to how to report issues that are going on around the community, whether you see kids doing something or something suspicious, who you should contact, how to do it, and so on and so forth. We also submitted, I think in every kid's backpack, we provided basically a guide as to what the district currently does, what the rules are, what the different steps are in case of emergency that we do today. There's definitely room for improvement, but as everyone states, it's not only this group that is essentially going to always be the only voice. It needs to be collectively the community to also come and make sure that they take part in this whole process, because it's not only a matter of us putting the 2 or 3 security guards in there that's going to stop the gunman that's going to come in the street. We need to make sure that we provide and work collectively with like city council or whoever it is to make sure we create programs to get guns off the streets. The issue is not how to stop them. Let's stop them from being out there. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not only about how we're going to stop them from coming in. I don't think there's even having a police officer out there would make much of a difference. So I think at the end of the day, we need to work all together, find ways, create programs, whatever it may be, and just get the guns off the street and try to tackle it in a different approach. But at the end of the day, as long as I'm here, and I'm sure as long as we're all here as board members, we will continue to fight to make sure that they are as safe as possible. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner Pereira. Any other comments? Commissioner Munn?
Thank you, Mr. President. I've always been an advocate also, and also support all of my colleagues in efforts in securing our buildings. And I think ever since I became a board member as well, I think I've always stressed that parents want to know that their children are safe in the schools. And I have to agree with Mr. Pereira in that we do need to come together, district, city, and everyone else, whoever can come together to make sure that we provide community awareness to the community and other things to help bring programs that will help the parents and the students. We can provide student awareness in our district, but we also need community awareness. And that is an effort that I think that we need to partner with other city council members and community organizations, faith-based organizations, and other things. So as Mr. Trujillo stated earlier, any input or anything that you may have, I'm sure all of us here are open to, receive whatever ideas that you have that could help. I know that we have already done many things in the school district, and there's always room for improvement, as Mr. Pereira said. But, you can always do better. We're never perfect. We can always do better. So we would like to have input from everyone if we can. Even communities, like I said, faith-based organizations, other organizations, other community organizations, just so that we could make sure that we're all, working together collaboratively to make sure that, our children are safe in our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Munn. Any final comments? Seeing none, I want to take this opportunity before we motion to adjourn to thank each and every one of you here tonight for taking time out from your busy and precious schedules to participate in this reorganization. On behalf of this entire Board of Education, I want to wish you all a happy, a healthy, a prosperous, and a peaceful new year. Thank you. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Peter, second by Ms. Barbatales. Motion. Meeting adjourned. Roll call.
Bathalis.
Yes.
Castillo.
Yes.
Denoso.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Munn.
Yes.
Nasco.
Yes.
Pereira.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Montero.
Yes. Meeting adjourned.